Hello and welcome to another rant about another movie slash show. This time we're talking about Attack on Titan. Well, no shit, because you read the title. This is how it's gonna work. It's gonna have like a little meter at the end out of 10, obviously. Not really gonna spoil most of the time, but when I do spoil, I'm just gonna give a time lapse if you want to skip because you haven't watched it yet. And for the rating, I'm actually gonna just rate it individually. I'm gonna rate the entire show, Attack on Titan itself, and the actual ending. And by the way, if you want to like completely avoid spoilers, don't read the comments because who knows, but if you really just want to avoid everything at that, just avoid the comments. But anyway, I am speechless. I am flabbergasted about how the thing with Attack on Titan, right? It never disappoints. It never disappoints when it comes to just favoritism, and just I think Attack on Titan is the best anime of all time, right? Or best show, or best type of entertainment of all time. Or maybe not best, but my personal favorite of all time. So going in this, I had high ass expectations. And guess what? It over-delivered. It did fucking better. Something like Five Nights at Freddy's, right? I had high ass expectations. It didn't deliver. Because for me, like I said, I have high expectations for everything, and usually it just doesn't deliver because my vision is completely, usually unrealistic. But in this case, it fucking delivered, and it's incredible. I love this show. It probably wrapped up the best it could have. Like the best. And obviously I have like a bittersweet feeling. Of course, like any show that ends, I'm gonna have a bittersweet feeling, especially ones that I actually have like a decently deep connection with. And I hate it. I hate that feeling. I hate it so much because I know I'm gonna be thinking about it for weeks, especially since it has such a perfect close in my opinion. It oddly gets like personal in a way with like real, when you finish a good ass game and you come off of it thinking about life completely different. That's kind of what this ending reminded me of. I want to get into specifics, so here's a spoiler warning. Here's the timeline to skip to if you haven't watched it yet. But yeah, at the end of the movie slash show, the time lapse of like through the credits of the city by the grave it was sad. Like how everything grew up and the generations and generations and the city building and everything and new inventions and all of that. And then eventual wars, and by the end a nuke, and then seeing nature take over the city. And even later, the dude walking to the tree, hinting back to when Ymir found her power. That dude is gonna find his power, and the whole sequence is gonna start over, and it emphasizing of how like Eren was, speeching of, and how he was in like personally talking to everyone, saying, "This is a suicide to set you guys free and to fight for peace." That was his main message, and to seeing that like go to shit eventually in the future, it's just fucking sad. And it also shows how like there's probably a deeper message, and like even before Ymir, there's probably a whole nother sequence of hiding some shit. It's just so deep in meaning and lore, and it's fucking insane how like everything sort of has another layer to it. But the fact that it's all kind of goes into shit and it's for no purpose at all, that's also kind of like, oh my god, it's still so meaningless. It's so bittersweet. It's kind of crazy. And that's why I say it's kind of like relating it to personal life, because even as much as you think you're doing, killing the whole 80% of the world to, try to set everyone free, it's still fucking meaningless. That's why I'm like, oh my god, it's so good. And that's why I say it's the best ending. Anyway, back to the non-spoiling talk so my other nerds can actually participate in the video. So I'm gonna make that transition now. So I know the manga readers didn't like the ending, which I actually don't understand at all. Apparently it's pretty much the same with minor adjustments in it, which I don't understand how the manga readers dislike, because in my personal opinion, I think it wraps up, because already before, the final season, I think everything was pretty much perfect in actually shaping the characters for who they are and kind of shaping the message they want to display. And the final episode is that final display of that message, and in this episode, I actually really do think they did it perfectly. Like honestly, I feel like there's like through the series there's not really a speed bump, like something like Death Note for example. After a certain point it kind of just goes downhill, but Attack on Titan doesn't really have that. And with the actual ending, I'm not unsatisfied compared to other animes where once it ends I'm just like kind of in this deep hole of unsatisfactory, compared to Attack on Titan where I'm just completely fulfilled. I am levitating with how the result happened, and I'm not thinking of like, oh well, it could have happened like this and it could have been better. I honestly don't see how it could have been better in a way. I hope I'm not just blinded by like bias here. Like in reality, I would always have to rewatch certain things to actually understand completely how, you know, certain things are, or just recognize certain issues that are actually present that I don't usually, you know, recognize the first time watching through. But I actually genuinely think I'm not stupid here. I actually genuinely think this final episode was nearly perfect, or if not perfect. So honestly, man, if you have the time, just give it a watch. Like, obviously I'm not fucking sponsored by Attack on Titan themselves, but me personally, I started watching this anime like this year, I think, and I don't fucking regret it, and now it's my favorite entertainment piece thing of all time. But anyway, I'm gonna get into one more spoiling part, then I'm gonna actually wrap it up and give my rating. So here's the timestamp to the rating, but if you watch the anime, I'm about to go on another rant. So I know a lot of people got spoiled the ending before it even happened. All the manga readers love doing that, just being absolute assholes before, you know, actual anime watchers could see the ending. You probably know where this is going, and I never really knew when the final episode was gonna drop. I just knew it was gonna be sometime later in the winter of this year. So yes, I got fucking spoiled, and you know what it was? It was by someone I obviously not like a friend or anything, but I knew personally. And you know what it was? It was fucking Mikasa holding and kissing Aaron's head. That's what I got fucking spoiled. Out of everything, that's the worst possible thing I could probably see. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool, nice. I guess the final episode is out, huh? Oh, it hurts because out of every frame, that was probably the worst you could have done. Like, you could have done, like, you know, the dog at the end. I wouldn't even know what the fuck that really meant. But showing Eren dead, yes, I would fucking know what that means. Oh, I hate it. I hate people with spoil shit. On the day of is crazy. I can't lie. So that's fucking incredible. I didn't really get, you know, the actual genuine experience or genuine feeling of seeing Eren die, because I knew that he was gonna die even before watching the anime. And I know some people would be like, well, that's an obvious ending, but I have a very open mind. There's always plot twists in my head that I can just see from afar, so I'm always like open to any possibility. But it just hurts because this, like I said, is my favorite anime. It's my favorite entertainment. So seeing it get fucking ruined by some random ass person, you know damn well I reported them, blocked them. Nah, man. And it said, why did you report them? I just don't like it. I should have put some harassment or some shit. But that is pretty much harassment, no? Like, but anyway, I could talk forever about this. Like, I have so many specifics. I have so many deep talks I could bring up to, you know, about this anime. But yeah, I love how they took the bittersweet path. I love how they represented fucking death and shit. It was just a beautiful, well, all around beautiful anime. I don't want to continue rambling because I could for fucking forever. So let me just get in to my rating. So I'm glad everyone is surrounded here today to, you know, listen to my Atsu meter, flame meter, whatever the fuck I want to call it, of Attack on Titan, the final episode and the anime itself. So for the final episode, I give it a fucking 10 out of 10. Huge, fucking perfect. I can't, again, I would have to rewatch it to actually give like a updated, you know, rating. But as for now, and maybe my biased self, it's saying a 10 out of 10. It's perfect. And for the actual anime itself, give me fucking drums. Yeah, fucking Tabitha. Give me the drums. Yeah. Ooh. It's a 10 out of 10. Ooh! In my opinion, Attack on Titan was already a 10 out of 10 before the last episode. So it actually wrapping up perfectly just gives it the final push it needs to just be done and final 10 out of 10. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of animes that are 10 out of 10 until the final episode and then drops its rating. And in my opinion, this last episode is the thing it needs. A perfect ending, and it did that. So in my opinion, it's a 10 out of 10. It is the best it could be. Obviously I could be fucking biased, so I would have to rewatch it to find that one flaw that would be like, oh well, that shouldn't be in there, and it would just drop to a rating like 9.5 or something. But as for now, I don't really have that in my head, so I'm about to just stick with my bias point of view and overview and say it's a 10 out of 10. If I would have to rewatch it, I might change it. But as for now, I think it's a 10 out of 10. But yeah, I'm gonna live with this bittersweet feeling for probably a couple weeks. So subscribe to give me meds. Yep, they will appear in front of me and shit. So yeah, that would be cool. Anyway, yeah, that has been me, and have a good night. See ya.